Oh, wow, that intro was lagging for me. Hello, welcome to a special episode of Rokk Players. One without a panel for now, and one that's not on the normal day, nor the normal time. We'll see how it goes. I was going to run a show yesterday with an amazing panel of Matthias that's been on the show before, our Aces RG Ally Gaming. With John Carr of Cloud Gaming Catalog and with Vetcozy Gaming, Vetcozy Gaming now. Yeah, I had to cancel because my daughter fell and hurt her neck. We had to go to the ER. Everything was fine, nothing to worry about. But then she also had caught a cold, so now she has a cold. You know, one of those days. And I'm alone with the kids. So if they wake up, I will have to close down the show, possibly, or at least pause it for a while, and so yeah, bear with me. But yeah, let's. It was such a great week of news, and then of course on top of that, also the FTC versus Microsoft. So I figured I could not do a show this week, right? So yeah, here we are. Hope you enjoy. Hope you find it as entertaining as always, even though I don't have my awesome panel that I was supposed to have. Because if it's a Friday night, of course they're all busy. But yeah, I suppose let's start with the usual. What has everyone been playing? It's just me here, so I guess I'll go first. This past week, I've actually played a lot more than usual because I did hurt my leg just the day after last week's show, and was kind of stuck on the couch for the entire weekend, which was kind of nice in a sense. It was like obviously in pain, but still. So yeah, I burned through Miles Morales on the PS5. It was great. I played a bunch of Horizon Forbidden West. I've played a lot of FIFA. So yeah, I've had some gaming time, and then I played 2 minutes of Arc Raiders before today, but that's under NDA, so I can't tell you anything more about it or show you the game. But yeah, closed alpha play testing is happening on Arc Raiders, which I'm excited about. Hello, Miss Phoenix, welcome. I mean, you have the link if you want to jump in. Feel free to do so, or just chill out and chat while we see what's been happening this week in the news. I haven't checked for news since yesterday yesterday afternoon. So anything more current than that, feel free to let me know in chat or anywhere else, and we'll cover it as well. But yeah, let's get started with the news, and we'll keep the FTC thing to the very end because that's a whole different beast, and that's the least it's been a lot of juicy details. Don't get me wrong, but it's also kind of the least interesting thing. After all, it's not gonna be the end of the day. It's not done yet. It's gonna be weeks until we know what's properly happening. It's not really affecting much right now, so we'll get there when we get there. There's a lot of juicy stuff there though. However, let us talk some news. Maybe that's a bit small. That looks weird. No, trying to figure out which layout we should use. I think we'll go with that one. Weird when it's only me. Right, so GeForce Now. They are launching some new games this week, and also telling us some of the games coming in next month. First of all, Remnant 2 is headlining this week. So it's a jam-packed July with 14 new supported titles in the GeForce Now library, including Remnant from Gunfire Games and Gearbox Publishing. Also, Jagged Alliance 3 is coming this month in July, etc. They're all, and then their usual stuff of, hey, upgrade to Ultimate because it gives us more money but gives you better quality, and sure. Here's the fun stuff. So the first list of the games coming in July. Interesting that they lead with this. Usually they do it the other way around. The Legend of Heroes: Trail into Reverie arrives on July 7th, day and date. Jagged Alliance 3 on the 14th. Xenonauts 2 on the 18th. Viewfinder, which was one of those really cool games that we saw on one of the indie showcases during a couple of weeks ago. Evening, Neil. Glad you could join us. Tectonica, Remnant 2, F1 Manager 23, Ember, finally getting Ember. Back to the clouds, which is great to see. So nice game to have on Stadia back in the day. MotoGP 23, and then we have the Octopath Traveler 1 and 2. Gorgeous looking games, but in my opinion, the combat drags that a bit too much. Like, it's too JRPG. It's like it reminds me why I love the genre, but also why I hate the genre. Like, it has the best and the worst of JRPGs. But gorgeous games. Pro Cycling Manager 23, Riders Republic is always good fun. This is obviously already on GeForce Now, but this is the Steam release. Starship Troopers Extermination is also coming in July. So some of these don't have a date yet, but we will be getting them. But this week already, so already now, you can jump into One Lonely Outpost, AEW Fight Forever, Darkest Dungeon 1 and 2, Derail Valley, Age of Empires 1 Definitive Edition, I Am Fish, Golf Gun, and Contraband Police. Interesting enough, it's only Steam releases in this list. Not a single Good Games or Epic Games or anything like that. It's just Steam games. I guess Valve and Nvidia are very happy together. And then obviously, as always, they are mentioning some extra games. Forever Skies and Ava Globe has also joined during June. Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition didn't make it in June due to technical issues, so guessing that comes next week or something like that. I did notice that it's already out on Boosteroid, so if you can't wait to play it in the clouds and don't want to use the console edition on xCloud, then there you have it. So yeah, GeForce Now has I would say this is a good set of week in terms of games. Nothing stands out really to me though. Like, it's some decent titles, but nothing that stands out. But I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it. But I did see someone mention that interesting thing that there's not a single Microsoft game in this coming in July list. And they were like, "Did we no Microsoft games? Huh, interesting." We'll see. Official response from someone working at Nvidia. And I was like, to me that reads as maybe we'll see Game Pass dropping next month. Or maybe it's just they don't know which ones are coming yet, and we'll find out soon. But what if it's Game Pass and Microsoft Store integration coming next month? That would be big. So, just a pure guess. Probably nothing. Probably way out before we get that. But what if? I love a good what if. So yeah, if we see it, I called it, but probably won't see it. Moving on, during one of the very long and very many Twitter threads of live reporting from the FTC and Microsoft hearing, there was a testimony from Mr. Eisler from Nvidia, who was saying that GeForce Now, it's more powerful than consoles, and compared it to local gaming, and it would honestly it's honestly more powerful than 99% of all gaming PCs as well. So he's not wrong, but good to see that in a courtroom. And it was mentioned that they have reduced latency from over 200 milliseconds to below 100 milliseconds to make it more enjoyable, with over 30 data centers to be close to gamers and attack latency several ways. Those numbers seem way higher than I get. Like, even when I'm connecting to something on the other side of Europe, I'm still getting like 40. So below 100, yeah, more like 5 to 20, maybe 40 at most. So they're doing themselves a disservice there, I would say. Moving on to the next set of news, one that I'm really excited about. Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure has been announced as the next DLC or next expansion pack for Guild Wars 2. One of my favorite games. And it arrives sooner than I thought, considering like between most expansions so far, there's been a couple of years. We got the last one a little, like, 14 months ago, and in late August we're getting the next one already. It is, however, with the caveat that they have since reworked how they're doing expansion content. It used to be that they did massive releases like one massive expansion every now and then. Now they're moving that down, and then in between having like living story segments. Now they're moving away from that approach and doing more of a, and then you would buy all of these along the way. Now they're moving away from that. They're lowering the price a little bit of the expansion, but don't buy that much. And they're putting out an expansion maybe once a year, and then throughout that year you will then, like, it's smaller than the older ones, but they're adding stuff to that, which they did before as well, building the story. But this is now part of the expansion. So you buy the expansion, then you get new content drops like every quarter until the next expansion comes, and you can buy that again. But of course, these are all like the next set of story block within the universe. So yeah, so release 1, release 2, and the release 3, and after that I suspect we'll get another expansion. So the game is alive and well and amazing. And fun fact, you will be visiting the Wizard's Tower, which is, I mean, this picture looks gorgeous. We'll not go into the story or the gameplay additions. If you're interested, you can look that up yourself. Something I want to point out. Wizard's Tower, Guild Wars 1. So in Guild Wars 1, which is my most played game ever, there is this thing that looks like this. It's called the Wizard's Tower. You can like stand on this ledge, but you can't get to it. There's like this weird floating castle outside of a really far out map. You can't really get, like, it's one that you rarely go to. There's like 1 or 2 quests taking you there in the first place, and then when it's quite hard to be there, like it's a very, very challenging place. And then on the edge of that map, you can spot this Wizard's Tower. And it's never been involved in anything. It's just been there and been a mystery until now. Now we're actually going to get there. It's grown and it's moved from this position, but then again, it's been, what, 250 years in the lore, so that's fine. But we'll finally get to explore it years after. So that's interesting. Just fun fact. Love that game. For all of you living in countries where Luna exists, Parish and Haven are now available on Luna in Canada, and I think they're also available on Luna everywhere. 2 games that I'm not really looking into very much. One of them, I can see from the image, I'm not going to look into. Haven, I notice, is also on PS Plus, so I could play that elsewhere if I wanted to. But yeah, more games coming to Luna, and someone mentioned also games going away from Luna. So Luna is going to lose a few games, and the total library size is shrinking. It's almost like what's happening with Luna? Is Luna going to die soon, or what's going on here? In some Discord shadows, and when I spoke to the head of Amazon Web Services for Nordics, Baltics, and Benelux, I ran into her at a convention, and I was like, "Hey, I gotta ask you, Amazon Luna, when are you bringing it over here?" And she said, and I quote, "When we enter new markets, we tend to make sure that we don't ever leave that market again, unlike some of our competitors giving a nice little boot at Stadia and Google." But yeah, so I don't think Luna is going anywhere, neither growing or going away. Like, I don't think they're gonna shut down Luna. I also don't think they're like, it's not going as they hoped. I'm not going very, very well. Yeah, fun fact. And for all of you VR guys out there, Facebook has unveiled the Oculus Quest Plus subscription service. I'm not gonna call it Meta. Stop it. So yeah, if you have an Oculus Quest, you can sign up for this subscription services, which is basically working just like PS Plus used to. You pay $7.99 for a month or $60 for a year, and then you get 2 VR titles every month. Yours to keep for as long as you are an active subscriber. If you cancel, you lose access. If you then resubscribe, you get the access back. So yeah, I mean, it's cool that they have that amount of stuff by now. Like, it's cool that the VR has gotten to a point where they can reliably do a subscription service like that. But yeah, it's worth mentioning. I'm not sure if it will be worth the cost though. Although VR games maybe are more expensive and not on sale as much, so who knows. And Google in the gaming news again. They are reportedly testing a feature to play games on YouTube. An experiment, they're calling it Playables, which is currently just an HTML game running inside of a YouTube video window, I think. Some people have said, oh, they're trying to do a new Stadia. I don't think that's what this is, to be honest. Might be, like, they might be using some of the tech there, but I don't. In general, I think it's more of a, what can we do to engage viewers to stay on the site? And hey, maybe we can run HTML games, or like smaller Flash games, or old, like the Flash style games, or like mobile games within YouTube. I don't know. They're saying it's just an experiment. There's nothing to announce. It's like, we'll see. But yeah, I don't think it will be like, it's currently not cloud gaming, so I don't understand why everyone is going, oh, it's cloud gaming. No, it's not. Like, it's currently not. It's just an HTML game, which is basically a brick game being run locally. But they could move it into the cloud. Who knows? Also from the gamesindustry.biz, which is a great news site. Yeah, I agree. Like, playables, that's not like, it's like, oh, here's a cool, like, it could be done for like, used for like demos of AAA stuff, sure. Yeah, edibles. Yeah, kind of. When I hear edibles, I think of like of drugs. Not that I've ever done it, but that's where my mind goes. E3 didn't happen this year, but the ESA has said they haven't made up their mind yet about 24 and 25, so next year and the year after. So those aren't cancelled. They're still in discussions. We might see E3 unalive, like revive itself and come back, but I don't know. We'll see. Next up, we're moving on over to some Ubisoft news. Burning through this, but that's good though. We'll have some things that I will spend more time on later. So Ubisoft Connect is getting, for those of you who has used that on PC, it's not really changed much over the years. But finally, they're working on a rework of the whole launcher and storefront, and yeah, it will have some new features. It can be tested right now. It's live now and rolling out to desktop users gradually. And let's just put this video on just so I can point out some stuff. So some of the features that they are showing, mentioning about this, is one of the things is that when you are in the game itself, when you're in the game itself, you'll be able to stream your game to, like, live stream to your friends, essentially, within kind of like sharing your screen. I don't think you can share control of it, so that you like give someone else access. That was something that I talked to them about when I tested that specific feature back like years ago. But yeah, they're also reworking a bit of the like how the games look. Here we go. You can change your name more easier, like nicknames. So yeah, you have remote play and share play, and I think remote play is probably more like I think remote play is probably, yeah. I mean, it's Moonlight, like streaming your game from your PC to something else, from another PC to this one. But it could also be that it's jacking into GeForce Now, and I did say to them, because this was back when I spoke to them last time about this. It was like giving them some feedback, like actually not talking to someone, not just hey Martinez. Like not just like in a forum. I was actually talking to a guy from Ubisoft working on the client that said, like, just like you should deep link GeForce Now or Stadia or whatever, all the cloud platforms that you're on, just deep link them in the app. Like, if I have the launcher on my PC and scrolling through the list of games, if I hit a game like Assassin's Creed Origins, if I don't want to install it right now, I still maybe want to try it out and then install it, like kind of like Xbox stuff you do with Game Pass. Like, just let me click play now on GeForce Now if I have a subscription. Why not? And they did say that they thought it was a good idea. I'm not sure if remote play is that, or if it's more my PC is out in another room, or I'm on my laptop and my PC is at home and stream your own game. Or it could be something like play together. Share play, I think, is you stream is streaming to your friends. But I think they might be able to take over as well, like jump in. Which is a kind of cool feature. Didn't work when I tested it because it was very early in development. Share play. It doesn't really say more in there. What else did we have in here? Some more playtime set, like better UI. Yeah, this is how it looks today. Like box art. Crow, welcome. So currently it's like box art with a game title. You have one tab for games, and then another one for Ubisoft they own, another one for Ubisoft Plus. And you can add your games from Ubisoft Plus into your game section as well. It's like weirdly designed. They should make it more smoother, and they have. So instead of that, look, they first of all they have moved all the Ubisoft Plus games into your games library if you have Ubisoft Plus. It's neat. It's not just library my games. If you have Ubisoft Plus, a lot of the games will be in there. But also now they do using widescreen images instead, like wallpaper stuff, papers, which is honestly a nicer look. Like it's feels more modern. I like it. So yeah, that's been improved. There's also some improvements apparently to how pause your downloads. I don't think you could do that before, maybe. So yeah, all in all, Ubisoft Plus client is also getting some more accessibility stuff. It's great to see it getting some more love because it kind of needed it. And we'll see where it goes from here. Also, speaking of Ubisoft, and in probably less positive news, Champions Tactics is a new game announced. Yay! But it's a blockchain game. They want to have blockchain. They want to get it's running on Oasis blockchain. I don't know why they're trying. There will be a free drop at you have. It's weird. I guess I'll try it out when it launches. I mean, just to try it. But yeah, I don't know. This feels wrong. Okay, it's a Web3 game. It's running on a blockchain. I don't really know how that works. Like I don't understand why they would want to do that. Moving on, during the FTC trials, Bobby Kotick, who I don't like, confirmed that Nintendo have had active talks about the next generation Nintendo consoles with Activision, and said the performance for the next gen Nintendo console is close to the power of PS4 or Xbox One, but of course in handheld. So a Switch 2 is, I mean, he basically confirmed the Switch 2. And he also says he believes the COD development team is working with expert engineers and could, together with expert engineers, could get Call of Duty working on the current Switch, but definitely on the next gen Switch. So I suppose Switch 2 is they should just go out and announce it now. It's out now. We knew it was gonna happen. Now it's actually out in the air that there is a Switch 2. So come on, Nintendo, get your shit together and then just announce it. We want to see it. And moving on, EA has announced that, or I think they have announced it technically through a job listing. It's been announced that Sims 5 is official, but a job listing for Sims 5. Where they're looking for the head of monetization and marketplace, and it's going to be free to enter with a free and paid in-game marketplace and paid for content, which is essentially the model that Sims 4 is working on. Yeah, exactly. That's out. They've sold everything they can. Now announce a new one. I agree. But yeah, so Sims 5 is coming. We know that, and they have now basically accidentally announced that it's going to be free to play, but also with a base game for free and then a lot of paid DLC. Kind of like how the Sims 4 is now. It's not it didn't start out as that, but it is now. Now you can play Sims 4 for free, and then of course a lot of it is just whatever add-on you need that costs money. This will be kind of the same, but also some free stuff as well, kind of like how Minecraft does it. If Minecraft was also free to play. So yeah, we are getting Sims 5 will be having that, and it's obviously coming. It's not coming this year. It's probably coming not even next year. I'm guessing, might be coming next year, but I don't think so. So yeah, so the job listing stated that the successful applicant would own pricing of all content in this free-to-enter game, ensuring that we have optimal pricing and content architecture. Something I feel though, Guys, does this change like does this change anything with Sims 5 for you guys? Like, will it make you more or less likely to pick it up, knowing that it will be free to start playing, and then a lot of paid DLC for getting a lot of the like, oh, you want more than 2 different carpets? Oh, you gotta pay for that. Like, here's a carpet pack for $3, or however it's EA is gonna be 5. So I mean, it's, I don't know. How do you feel? Personally, I feel like I'm probably not going to be interested in another Sims game, because for the first time in the Sims history, the Sims 5 is going to be launching when there already is an established competitor out on the market. Because, I mean, Life by You. This is coming into early access in this year in September. They've said it's going to be in. They've said Life by You is going to be in early access for about a year, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, depending on how it goes. This is Paradox Interactive taking it on. Let's put this trailer on. Have you guys seen this game? Because this, I think, will be kind of big thing for The Sims, like the market of The Sims. If this game does well, this I don't see a future for this. Like, I don't see The Sims 5 having much of a chance. Because EA has for years screwed over their audience with The Sims by releasing all of these DLC and just putting less and less content in the base game. Roaster, welcome. How are you? Whereas like Life by You looks like everything that this looks like everything that people wanted out of the Sims for years, but never got. And they have, from the very start, they will have complete mod support. Like, every single tool that they've built for the game, they've then streamlined and made it so that people can use to make their own stuff. Like, everything is so customizable, and then you can yeah. I mean, if you're working till 1 a.m., don't yeah. Ouch. Exactly, Neil. It's like SimCity versus City Skylines. I think history is about to repeat itself. SimCity wasn't one of EA's biggest titles, but it was a big title. It was a decently big title, but it wasn't the biggest. And The Sims is like the second biggest title for EA, isn't it? Isn't FIFA is bigger, but wouldn't this be like the second biggest game or like third biggest game for EA? And if Paradox can do what they did with City Skylines to SimCity, basically showing them how it was, this is how you do it, and then SimCity died out. EA gave up on it. If this has the potential to basically kill The Sims, which it could be. Roster, I feel you. I'm also on call, although I wasn't. I had someone else jump in from yesterday when I went to the VR, because I went without my laptop and everything. But it's like, so yeah, I feel you. Although on my on call, nothing ever happens. Hey, Christian, welcome. But yeah, so I'm taking on call as well. If I get an alarm, I guess I'll start working within 30 minutes. Although I think my on call is a bit different from yours. My on call is I gotta make sure that our system, core system, is online. If it goes down, I gotta work. Otherwise, but as long as nothing happens to it, it's fine. Yeah, I'm the same. If I wake up and gotta work for a bit, I can't go to sleep for another hour or two. Yeah, that's also good catch. Overwatch. That was Blizzard killing that themselves, to be honest. Not as much as a competitor coming in and just sweeping them out of it. like Cities Skylines did. But yeah, I think like if Life by You goes the way Paradox hopes it will, and the way I think it actually might, because like everything I've seen of it is like, this looks great. Oh no, resetting passwords, I hate that. Like, here's something that I've realized. Password, like a lot of companies have this, like, oh, you need to like change your, like they have these long complex password rules. You need to change your password every now and then. You can't use the same one over and over again. All that leads to is just making more work. Just two-factor authentication. Have like, oh, you should have a password that's like at least 15 characters, and at least one big and one small character. Other than that, go, do whatever you want. Because at the end of the day, a long password that you can remember is better than a short password that you've written down on a post-it note and put on your desk because you can't remember, because you have to change it all the time. So many companies do passwords wrong. Yeah, and I'm guessing they have to change it every now and then, right? Like every 3 months or something. And because that's where I like have the issue with password policies and companies. Like, it's fine if you have upper, lower symbol and number and at least 8 characters. That's the basis of coming up with. Yeah, I mean, like that's fine. But every 90 days you have to change it. That's when everyone goes for simple passwords and they write them down somewhere, so that people like that's. I mean, that's a recipe for getting hacked. Like, it's so bad. Like, just don't. Two-factor authentication, 15 characters, at least 2 of upper lower symbol and number. At least 2 of those should be true, and then you don't only have to change it if you get compromised or if you forget it and ask for a change. That would give you, like as the admin, way less work because people would actually remember their passwords, would be more secure, and people would be more happy about it. Like, people wouldn't see it as a chore. So yeah. Oh, you're the last one awake. I mean, so am I. But then again, I'm home alone with 2 kids who one of them is sick as well. So I feel that's cheating. I'm generally like, I will be open. I will be up the longest for all this. But yeah. So they've started putting out some development blogs for Life by You, and it's looking pretty well. That's it. Because you change your password, and they forget it, and then like they get a new one, they pick a new one, and they forget that straight away, and they have to come back to you again. So bad. That's great, Crowd. Did it work? Like, did you manage to convince management to stop? Because I hope you did. Like, I have, like, our IT department is with me with us on this. That it's a bad policy. Yeah, browser, do that. Do that and present it to the board. I mean, once a year is fine. I would still prefer to be not like only if you compromise or forget it, but once a year is fine. I mean, I suppose it's good. But that's just. I think that's once a year is probably better than what I suggest. But yeah. I mean, the exciting world of password resets is like, if anyone watching this is working at a place where you have to change your passwords every now and then, just do what Crowd did, present it to the board, and you won't have to, because it's a bad idea and it's stupid. Oh yeah, I mean, must have been so much wasted time, David. It was like, I suspect it was like in. Like, I don't know how big of a company that was, but I suppose, like, it wouldn't surprise me if that was like in the scale of, like, if it's a company of like 100 people plus, easily, 100,000 a year, dollars, like, easily. That's much wasted. I mean, if you count like man hours spent from the IT department, and because you also need to hire, then that would mean so much more work for the IT department. So you need to hire more people to there, and yeah, it's like, exactly. If you have 900 plus staff, oh my god, you must be. I no, damn. Yeah, that I suspect it's very easy to hack that company that you work at, Master, and it's very easy for and like a lot of money being wasted on that. You should definitely have a case to present to the upper management there, mate. Go for it. Another Paradox game that has been seeing some like new announcements is City Skylines 2. So yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for this. I love City Skylines 1. Oh, bad coughing in there. Life by You is coming out, Rokk, September 12th in early access, and then it's being stay in early access for about a year. But it's going to be Game Pass day one. I don't know if that's Game Pass day one from early access or if it's Game Pass day one after early access. But later this year, you will be able to start playing it, and as well as City Skylines 2. Like a month later, City Skylines 2 comes out. And like both of these games started putting out development bugs, like highlighting features and showing the game off properly. There's even a new one. Oh, no, that's coming soon. The next week they'll talk about public and cargo transportation. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back. Thought I woke up coughing, but fell quickly back asleep. Yeah, it's a shame that they don't want to make it Rokk, but don't worry about it. I think they're all happy to come back sometime soon. All right, Steam sales. Yes, we'll get to that soon. But I was just going to mention. So, I mean, they've already announced like how road tools are going to work in Skylines 2 and how traffic AI is going to work. And it's, I mean, I recommend if you're at least a little bit excited about this game, check it out because it's something like it's impressive improvements. This game looks like it's going to be incredibly good. Don't worry, Neil. I'm actually thinking we'll go through, take a look together because we're almost at the FCC stuff, and I don't really want to get into that right now. Next up, some very happy news. Baldur's Gate 3 has been moved up. It's not been delayed, or it sort of has been. It's been delayed and not delayed. The PS5 version has been delayed by about a week. No, we didn't. We'll get to that as well. I did saw that. I haven't had time to put that in the show notes. So the PS5, like Baldur's Gate 3 was supposed to be coming out the last day of August. The PS5 edition will now come out a few days later on September 6th. But the PC version, that's going to be on Steam, Good Old Games, and on GeForce Now and Boostroid, is coming out on August 3rd. It's coming out earlier. And I have actually not had to change my summer plans. That's the best thing about it, because I'm going on holiday from work on like I think like week 30, so like it's July 25th or something like that, and then I'm off until August 28th. So and because that's it has to fit with the kids' summer holidays and things like starting school and things like that. So essentially, I'm going from like being off work and then start coming back to work just as the game releases to being the other way around. Like I'm actually on holiday when this game releases now, and I don't have much plans for it. Like didn't hang out with the kids during the day, and as soon as they go to sleep, I can sit down and play Baldur's Gate. It's gonna be great. So yeah, I bought it on two, or technically I bought it on Stadia. That got refunded. Spent that money on repairing the car, and then I bought it on Steam to play on GeForce Now, or to play on like because I was like it's gonna come to GeForce Now at some point, so I bought it again. And then like 3 days later, the GeForce Now team was like, "Hey, any ambassadors want like want a copy of Baldur's Gate 3 because and make content with it because it's coming to GeForce Now this week." And I was like, "Oh, I guess I'll refund that then." Then I bought Hogwarts instead. So yeah, it's so good. And I'm not gonna buy it for PS5 because I'm not made out of money. In fact, I'm the opposite. But we like if I can get my hands on a PlayStation copy as well, I'm so getting it because I'm just sitting on the couch playing local co-op with my wife. It's gonna be great. Or like she on the PS5 and me on the on PC or something like that. It would be so fun. So yeah, super excited about that. And I mean, let's see. There's this link to the proper. Doesn't okay. This doesn't link to the proper page, or does it? Yes, it does. There we go. Other fun stuff from this set of news. Just in case you guys didn't understand the scale this game is on. First of all, we're getting another panel from him, probably the last one on July 7th, giving us showing off some more news. First of all, we are getting some new races and classes added to the game for launch that hasn't been announced yet. We are getting some new origins and character companions, and the official level cap, new difficulty settings, and yes, much more. So obviously they started developing this game with when they launched the last game there were 120 people, and now they're 400. So that's quite a lot, and they've been in early access. They've had almost 2 million players, which is, I mean, considering you buy a full price game for something that's like a third of the game in early access, there's a lot of people not buying into that, and yet they've sold almost 2 million copies already, which is great. And instead of having 5 races as Divinity Original Sin 2 did, yes, we'll play it together. We can have what launch week. Let's not do a podcast. Let's instead have a 2-3 hour window where you just play BG3 in co-op. I think we can have SPGs join us. Like 4 of us playing Baldur's Gate 3 instead of doing the news that week. Because I mean, the news is going to be me talking about Baldur's Gate anyway that week. So I feel like that's what we should do. But yeah, so instead of they're now over. They will now have 11 races with 31 sub races. Oh no, message is stuck. Maybe. What if I do this and that? Does that help? Okay, maybe it's just me forgetting to remove it. There will be 12 classes with 46 subclasses. In their last game they made, they had 225 spells and skills. Now they have over 600. And that's not including upcasts, whatever that is. I can't remember what that is right now. The last game had 45 talents. This one has 308, which is over passive features, which is comparable to talents. It's so good. It's so big. But even worse, and I also love the addition of the GeForce Now logo in here. Oh, Rogue Book is announcing games. Awesome. I'm gonna add that. Yeah, Rogue Book is amazing. The second best card battler I've played. It used to be the best. Or I played Slay the Spire, was like, oh, this is so good. Like, best card battler I've played. Then I played Rogue Book and like, this is now the best one. Slay the Spire is great, but not as good as this. And then I played Metroplex Zero, and I think that's better. Moving on, we... Sorry. So yeah, the PC game is coming sooner. And let's see here, 60 FPS is targeted on PS5. They say it would be a shame to downscale to 30. I agree. I loved Rogue Book as well. Oh, that's when we blocked. Huh. Okay. Yeah, definitely gonna take a look at that later. What else is in here? Like this blog post is like I saw a YouTuber who covers Baldur's Gate 3 be like, this is the biggest news they've dropped since they showed off the gameplay the first time in this blog post. So to give you another sense of scale, let's see here. Yeah, okay, so they have realized that like they don't wanna like the game is pretty much done from a content for PC, and they realized like, oh, we need to optimize a bit more on PS5. But you PC players, why should you have to wait? Let's just give it to you now, sooner. The Mac version will be released at a later date, and they will update as soon as they have a target. That also goes for the Series S and X. They are having issues getting the split screen and local multiplayer to work on the Series S. Hence, there's no announcement of an Xbox version, but it is in the works, and they have confirmed that they have like elite developers from the Xbox team helping them out, getting it to work, and optimizing it. So yeah, it's gonna, when it's ready, it will arrive. It feels like the second they solve that issue for them together with Xbox, it will be like, oh, and we can release it in like a month from now. So yeah, the Baldur's Gate 3 is now confirmed to have more cinematic dialogue than three times all the three Lord of the Rings novels combined. So take all three Lord of the Rings books, read them 3 times, and there's still more cinematic dialogue in Baldur's Gate 3. It has 174 hours of cinematics, making it more than twice the length of all the Game of Thrones seasons combined. This game is fucking huge. And obviously you're not going to see all of that in one playthrough. You're going to have to play through it like 10 times to even see 50% of that probably. But still, like, it's crazy. Level cap will be level 12. And that might not sound like a lot, but keep in mind in D&D you don't really level up that much. And when you do, like, you level up and you get access to a whole lot, like a new level of spells, and this changes up things quite a lot. Level 12 includes some really like very super powerful spells, and this guy is a Dragonborn, so he's basically like a humanoid dragon. They are coming to the game together with half orcs. They look so good. So yeah, you can have like a small humanoid dragon thing, and they have 10 subraces to choose from: black, blue, bronze, brass, bronze, copper, gold, green, red, silver, and white, with all of them being slightly different, not only in appearances but also skills. And we'll see them more on July 7th, as well as the half orcs. Look at that beautiful half orc. I mean, it is on GeForce Now on Boostroid, so you do have a cloud version. I mean, I'm gonna play it on cloud. I don't have this hardware space for that, nor a machine that can run it. So yeah, because it is on both Boostroid and GeForce Now, and on Boostroid it's in the library section, not the install section. So don't you worry, it is on cloud technically. Let's see here. We're not going to go into the details of those races. We're just going to see it like. So here we have the official When the game launches, you will be able to play as a human, Githyanki, half-orc, tiefling, drow, elf, or dwarf, with sub-races for those guys. Gnome, half-elf, halfling, or dragonborn. But yeah, the game is on both GFN and on Boostroid, and it runs amazingly on both of them. So just buy it on Steam and you can play it on through the cloud. No need to spend like 150 gigs on it. They're also announcing the monk class being added to the game. And look at these animations. Like, obviously it's a bit pixelated because it's a GIF, but it's like... Neil, if you're actually wondering, I'll give you... I mean, Baldur's Gate is a... if I remember, I did read a lore post, like someone commenting about the lore on this earlier today. Basically, some god person landed on in the world and was like, I'm gonna hide my treasure here and I'm gonna build a massive wall around it to protect it. And then that wall had a gate in it, and by that gate someone built a, humans started building a city because like that treasure wasn't, like, no one can find it, but it's supposed to be there somewhere. So they built a city around it, and then that city grew and grew and grew and grew, and it's that's why it's called Baldur's Gate, because it's like the Balduran was someone like a big deity guy who plopped down and built it, like parts of it, and then everyone was like, all right, we're gonna build a city here, sure. It's gonna be called Baldur's Gate because due to the fact that Baldur made a gate here. So yeah. What else is in here? Launch classes: Barbarian, Druid, Fighter, Ranger, Sorcerer, Rogue, Bard, Monk, Paladin, Warlock, Cleric, Wizard, and all of these obviously have a lot of like subclasses, so you can choose to further like drill down into your playstyle. You can also multi-class, so like let's say I'm a level 4 Druid, and then I reach character level 5, and instead of saying, all right, I'm now level 5 Druid, you can say, oh, I'm a character level 5, but I'm still a level 4 Druid, but I'm also a level 1 Barbarian. And you unlock some Barbarian stuff. That means you won't get to the highest levels and the best spells or skills of that class. Let's say you have 2 classes combined, which can create some weird and wonderful combinations. Like you can be like a Druid calling down rain, like creating a puddle, and then you can combine that with some wizard or sorcery skills of lightning and electrocute anyone in that puddle, for example. They're also announcing some more companions, and one of them is a character named Karlach, which is in early access already, but just briefly will be joining as an origin character, meaning you can play the whole game instead of creating your own character. Because the thing is, you can create your own character and play the game, or you can choose from one of the predetermined like origin stories that they have. So Astarion, Gale, Shadowheart, Lae'zel, and Will and Karlach are now confirmed as origin characters. There will be one more that will be showcased next week, the 7th. But yeah, so you can like play through their storyline, or you can play your own character storyline and bring them on as companions. And then there's also 4 companion characters that can join you on your journey. Halsin, Jaheira, Minsk, and Minsk are from the first 2 games. Somehow they've survived the 100 years in between them. And then Mintara might be adding some, I don't know if they're adding one more, but I don't know. And almost all of these characters are romanceable as well, so your character can have romance with all of these. So yeah, Karlach is going to be joining as a playable character. That's how that girl looks. And then they could talk about feats and new spells coming, awesome stuff. Difficulty levels, they will have there's a normal mode, which is available right now in early access. You will also have an easier story mode where combat has been made more forgiving. In this mode, friendly NPCs are harder to kill, trader prices are at a 20% discount, and you'll begin the game with a +2 starting proficiency bonus, making you better at some skills. There's also going to be a hardcore mode, where the lethality of enemies is kind of up to brutal, ensuring that their enemy AI is stronger, will prioritize squishier targets with low armor class, will seize opportunities to go in for the kill, and additionally many adjustments have been made to make fights themselves specifically for hardcore mode, certain enemies receiving additional support through reinforcement spells or consumable items. Yikes! Not gonna touch that. That's gonna be way too hard. And I mean, the script is roughly 2 million words in length, but thanks to a team of over 200 strong, they have announced that it will be subtitled in English, French, German, Polish, Russian, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, Spanish, Latin America, Turkish, Portuguese, Brazil, Italian, and Ukrainian, which is awesome to see. Hey, Ron. Ron Slosha, welcome. And of course, if you have brought the collector's edition, they will still ship when they will be shipped with the PlayStation release, but the code for the PC players who bought the collector's edition will be emailed in out sooner. And just, I mean, it looks so good. Like this, I would love to splurge on this, but no. However, all those of us who has bought the early access build, we can't transfer our saves. Hang on, a quick note. The save games will not transfer from your early access build to the release, but within the 72-hour period prior to launch, they will. So the last 3 days, you can start playing in early access and then keep playing in the version 1.0. And also, if you bought the early access build, you have been upgraded to the digital deluxe edition, giving you some like extra stuff, in-game stuff, and the soundtrack and stuff like that, which is awesome. That's saving you $10. So yeah, we're 35 days away from launch of Baldur's Gate freaking 3, and I'm so excited. And yes, Microsoft engineers are helping getting Baldur's Gate 3 split screen working on Series S. So when they solve it, and it's not if, it's a when, the game will come to Xbox as well. Don't you worry. But yes, someone mentioned the summer Steam sale earlier, because that's live right now. And I figured we should take a quick look at it before we go into the whole lawyers thing. So yeah, I mean, let's just see what's on sale. See if there's any good cloud gets. Victoria 3, 20% off. Yeah, Anno has a decent price here as well. So fans of strategic games got some good ones for there right there. No Man's Sky, Pharaoh is on sale. Ooh. No, I don't need more games. I don't need more games. Damn it. But yeah, I've played the original one. The original one is so good. This is apparently, I mean, modernized graphics, modernized UI. Definitely want to take a look at. A mixed reviews though. Sad to see. But yeah, that's good. That game is great. What else is in here? I mean, don't they have like a good, like, let's check the top sellers. See if there's anything fun in there. Oh, Steam Deck is actually topping the top sellers. Congrats. Hogwarts Legacy is on Boostroid and 20% off. Elden Ring, is that also on Boostroid? Maybe? Let's see where Dave the Diver, huh? New game. Yeah, the Survivor, the Redemption, Dark Souls 3, Cyberpunk is a decent price. I think that's 50% off, right? I mean, if you don't have Cyberpunk anymore, if you had it on sale but don't have it anymore, or if you haven't played it, it is, like, yes, it's not what they promised initially, but it's still a pretty damn good game. And the DLC is coming soon, so I mean, pretty decent price to get it for, and also, I mean, it looks great. Look at this. Baldur's Gate 3 is top 50 best sellers, but it's not it. Like, it's not. I think it's the first game that's not on sale or free to play. Okay, BattleBit Remaster as well. This is a Sweden list. Let's look at the global list. So global list, Steam Deck is topping. Sekiro is quite cheap right now as well. I know a lot of people like that. It's not for me, but still. There we go. Octopath Traveler 2 coming to GeForce Now next month. You could buy it now and be prepared. 53% off. High price though. It's an expensive game. FIFA 23 is available on Boostroid. if you don't have a console to play it on. They are also adding the FIFA Women's Cup 2023 as a free add-on to that game. I think this week it's already been added. I mean, like, I'm the kind of guy who, like, I love having a FIFA copy. It doesn't have to be up to date, but, like, you know, the last 1 or 2, maybe 3 years. And like, I realized when I was playing, because I've been playing a lot of FIFA this week, and I mean, I had PS like FIFA 23 on Stadia for the short bit that it lived on there, and I liked it. And then we didn't have it for quite a while, and then we bought it, and I picked it up for PlayStation, and we had it played on the PS4, so the last gen version. And then when I got the PS5, I did install the PS5 version. And first of all, I realized you can't move over your progression, which sucks. Caseball, welcome. But I also realized, like, they're not kidding when they say, like, hypermotion is the next gen thing, and it's like, it's so cool. When I first heard them talk about hypermotion, I was like, well, this is like, come on, guys, this is just marketing, right? Like, sure, like, better animations, who cares? But it plays so differently. It really makes a difference, and that, like, surprised me how much because I went from playing it on the PS4, and then, like, a week later playing on the PS5. Like, that soon after each other, I can really feel the difference. I was like, huh, they actually weren't lying. Like, I'm surprised. But yeah, also to see Baldur's Gate in this top list, definitely worth getting. Even if it's full price, it's not going to go on sale for quite a while. So, It Takes Two is on sale if you haven't played that yet. I haven't played it, but I also have it through EA Play. So, that's the thing. If you have Game Pass Ultimate, you have EA Play, and then you have It Takes Two on PC and on Xbox. So, you could just, I mean, and the EA Play from Game Pass Ultimate works on GeForce Now and Boosteroid. So, because it's just the EA app, and they've upgraded it from Origin to the EA app now. So, like, if you have Game Pass Ultimate, don't. But if you don't have Game Pass Ultimate and you have someone to play it with, It Takes Two is. I mean, I loved A Way Out. Because the Fares is amazing. He's the weirdest Swede you'll ever see, but he's amazing. And It Takes Two is supposedly even better, and I can't wait to finally wait until the day that my wife is available to play it with me. City Skylines 1 is on sale. If you haven't played that one, I don't know what, and can't wait for the second one. Definitely a great one. Yeah, I mean, like, Neil, I think your son probably, like, it won Game of the Year in a year where there was, like, some really great titles out there. It was a surprise win for a lot of people, but like, knowing what they did with A Way Out, and knowing that It Takes Two is just way crazier. Like, just to give you a sense of this weird stuff they went through making that It Takes Two. And I think I've told this story before, but still, it doesn't matter. So normally a game, like a big game, Cyberpunk has like 6 hours of original music, and that's considered a lot, even for an open world game. Like, having that much original music, because you mix it in different ways, and you can then spread out into 10 hours of original music, and by that, if you have that amount in a 100-hour game, people like the music. People aren't gonna get annoyed by the music being the same. It Takes Two is like, what, 15 hours? It has 16 hours of music. It has more hours of music than the game than it takes most people to play the game. And that level of, like, extra effort they put into everything. Oh, we're gonna make a new level. Like, let's not. They never looked at, oh, what can we reuse from the, like, in terms of assets from the previous stuff. No, they were just like, all right, new level. It's gonna be this instead. All right, let's build everything from scratch again. Like, the level of effort and detail put into that game is just insane. And as the same goes for, like, I remember that when I played A Way Out, there's this segment where it switches between running through a hospital, and switches between the characters. So instead of playing one, like, simultaneously, as you've done for the most part up until this point, you suddenly switch to one at a time. Like, one of you being chased down different hallways, and you just switches, like, swooshes through a vent into the next one. Like, it's just one continuous camera take, and with it being one continuous camera take, it goes through, I think, 3 different ways of playing a game. Like, it goes from, like, a third person, like, you're running around, running with quick time events, to then suddenly being a 2D side scroller beat them up, into suddenly being a stealth game, into suddenly be like, I don't understand how most developers would be like, oh, we can't make a whole system for something that's gonna be used for 2 minutes. Whereas these guys are, oh, we have a scene that's 1 minute long. Let's make a new system for it. Completely change the game for just a minute, and spend like 3 months building it. It's insane. Those guys are insane, and I love them. And I think a lot of it comes from them, their manager. Like Yusuf Fares is that's just him being him. Ooh, Mountain Blade Bannerlord is on sale. If you haven't played that, definitely pick that up on that price. Yeah, I mean, I agree. And I can't wait to see what Hazelight does next. Yeah, that studio is just like I will buy anything that studio puts out. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons wasn't by the same studio, but by the same people. Incredible game. If you haven't played it, it's probably on sale right now for very cheap. It's not a co-op game, but you play 2 characters at the same time. Oh no, I'm getting sick too. I am, aren't I? Okay, so top picks from the top 50 list of the things here. Let's see here. Crusader Kings 3. Let's see from this top 50 of most popular games on Steam right now. Let's make it top 60 because there was some hardware and free to play stuff in there as well. So out of the top 60 games that are on cloud that I think that I think is worth picking up from here. I'm gonna make a top list because I don't think I wouldn't know how to rank these things. RimWorld is on my wish list. I've heard so much great. Like, it's not for everyone, but if this is a game for you, then definitely worth picking up. I'm holding out on it because I don't have time to spend on it right now. But when I do, I'm definitely gonna play that. Miles Morales, available on Boostroid. I played it on PlayStation this past weekend, and I loved it. Obviously, it's kind of it is a standalone expansion, so they do kind of expect you to go from having played the first one, and I hadn't. I had seen playthroughs of it, but hadn't actually played it myself. So I realized quite quickly that, like, I'm not equipped for this. Like, one of the very first scenes, you're chasing. I'm not gonna spoil anything. So you're chasing a bad guy down the streets of New York, and you're swinging after. And like, I'm at that point, I just picked it up. I played like 10 minutes. I was not good enough at swinging to be able to catch up. And then I had my brother-in-law over, and he had played a bit of the first one, so but he had never touched the PS5, so he played that segment and was like, and then gave back the controller, saved, and then the day after I sat down and played a lot, and it took me like 15 minutes to get into the swinging and learning it properly, getting the feel for it. But the second I had the feel for it, just amazing. So like the swinging feels so great, but it takes you 10 minutes, and it starts with a swinging chase scene. So if you haven't played the first one, you're picking up Miles Morales. Like, when the game, like the first cutscene is finished, and you can start swinging around. Just swing around until you get the proper feel for it, because you're gonna need it very soon. It's like, learn it properly before you keep moving. This is essentially my tip there, because it's but then once you do it, it's very short. I think I spent 8 hours in it, and I finished it. I have a lot of side stuff to do, but like the main story is finishable in just a couple of hours. But it's incredible. But late to the party on that one, I know, but still, Crusader Kings 3 is a great. I mean, I love all the Paradox Grand Strategy games. Crusader Kings 3, you play more of. You don't really put, like, in my favorite one, one of my favorite, the ones I've played most. In EU4, you play as a country. Here, you play as a family or a dynasty, and you obviously control countries through that dynasty. But it's a lot more of a roleplay game, actually. Like, a grand strategy meets role-playing game. Civ 6 is always fun. At a 90% off. I mean, at that price, pick up Civ 6. I think that's on Boostroid only. I don't think that's on the event right now. Hopefully coming soon. Or sometime soon. Well, yeah, Bannerlord, definitely pick that one up. If you haven't played Bannerlord, like, at 50 euros, it was a good price. At 30, amazing price. That game is amazing. Stellaris, one of my absolute favorite games as well. Great to see this high on the list, because it's basically like a grand strategy game, but set in space, and they take in all of the fun, like every single like trope from sci-fi you've ever seen is in this game. So like it has to take in this game, and then you just do whatever you want as a spacefaring nation. And it's a strategy game, of course, but still, safe science as well. Great city builder. It Takes Two we already talked about. I mean, if the original is anywhere close to Miles Morales, definitely pick up this one as well. I'm not gonna pick it up personally because I've watched it, looked like at a playthrough at a time when I was like, I'm never gonna play this game, so I'm just gonna watch a let's play of it and get the story through a YouTuber that I like. And I did that and I loved it, but I'm not gonna touch it myself. Baldur's Gate 3 is not on sale, on the Steam sale, but it's on Steam and coming out soon, so definitely pick that one up. 100% guaranteed. You'll 100% recommendation from me. FIFA at that price, yeah, sure. If you don't have a FIFA from the last 2 or 3 years, pick it up. It's great. I mean, so if it's not your type, it's not your type for sure. And they did confirm that the full one full playthrough is going to take like 75 to 100 hours. And that's not a completionist playthrough. That's just a normal playthrough. Maybe 150 if you're to 200 if you're a completionist, and then even then you're gonna want to play it like 5-6 times if you want to complete it, because you're not gonna see most of the things you're not gonna see in the first playthrough. So Octopath Traveler looks great, but it's not really for me, so I can't really recommend it, even though it was a good price. And then Cyberpunk Hogwarts Legacy. Games that are not on cloud though, I mentioned before, Metroplex Zero is 15 euros right now. If you like card battlers, this is well worth your well worth the money, and it's on 20% off during the Steam sale. And they just did a patch to a balance patch, which is good to see. So yeah. And if you're seeing a Steam sale game, then like, oh, this looks interesting, why not go head over to the cloud gaming catalog to see if it's on cloud? Or you could, of course, go into the GeForce Now page itself, because it lists now the discounts on the Steam summer sale here. It lists all games on the summer sale, of course. But you can see some great ones here. Age of Empires 2 is not in there, but okay, 3 and 1 and 4. 2 will be later. It's a lot of great titles in here. I mean, Just Cause is always fun, and like it's a fun game to just mindlessly play every now and then. So why not? So yeah, like maybe that's a better way. Like if you just scroll through the complete list of all games on GFN and look for the tags of the discount, maybe that's a great way to find which one you want to play next. Yeah, lots of games on massive sales right now. I mean, hey, Witcher 3, 70% off. Awesome. Great game. But then, let's head into all the news that came out of the FTC versus Microsoft lawsuit. I'm probably gonna miss some that came out like today. But I think today wasn't really that much discovery being made, more of a closing arguments, and apparently the guys over at the CMA did a really the FTC did a really bad job with the closing argument. I've watched a couple of recaps of a guy named Destin on YouTube, which I really find like it's been like 15 to 30 minutes for each day to summarize the highlights, which has been great. And also Florian Muller has been live tweeting in like massive, like 100, like one day took 130 tweets just catch up with what's being said. But there's a lot of juicy stuff in here. I'm not going to throw all of these obviously because that's going to take forever. So just head in there and read them if you want to. But for example, we've learned that the main reason Microsoft actually bought ZeniMax and Bethesda was because they heard, oh, Starfield is going to be an exclusive to PlayStation. No, we can't have that. Let's just buy the whole company, because Sony is trying to pay them to not put the game on Xbox, and they realized they couldn't have, like, that would be very bad for them. So they just bought the whole studio and they did the other way around, obviously that was indicate like obviously when that happened, Starfield was in quite early in development, so they hadn't really started thinking of which platform they want to put it on. But yeah, so if Sony hadn't been doing their shit, Microsoft wouldn't have bought Bethesda, and then PlayStation fans wouldn't have been sad that they wouldn't be getting Starfield. Like if everyone had just been like, well, let's just let them do their stuff, the game would have been on both. Let's just be honest. Sony and Microsoft both like just keeps on digging in this hole that is exclusivity and just making it worse for everyone involved. Just stop making games exclusives. Come on. Yeah, and The Verge also has some great articles as well, listing everything here. Kotick apparently regrets not bringing Call of Duty to Nintendo Switch, saying it was a bad judgment to abandon that, and he thought it was not going to be a success. I mean, I always knew he was an idiot, but that just confirms it. This was fun. Someone messed up redacting things. Hang on, okay, we're getting to that later. Activision Blizzard apparently demanded special treatment to keep Call of Duty on Xbox. So during the trial, Xbox VP Sarah Bond had basically testified that Bobby Kotick threatened to like, unless you give us a better revenue share, we're not going to give you Call of Duty. So like they are bullying other companies. I hate Bobby Kotick. No worries. No worries, mate. I'll keep it running on my own, don't worry. Yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to join, I think the link is in the description, so just head in and join in. What else do we have usually stuff going out of the FTC stuff? Nvidia says Microsoft asked Nvidia to remove Bethesda titles from GeForce Now after they acquired ZeniMax. So they bought them, and then we're like, oh, there you. And I mean, you got to keep in mind at this point, they were focusing on like I think at this point they hadn't really decided to where they wanted to go with cloud. I think now they've kind of like even before the merger, it feels like they kind of went, maybe we should like take a step back. Like, do we want to go all in on cloud? It looks like Google is stepping backwards as well, and maybe like, I mean, I'm guessing they had a feeling that Google was going to close it down sooner than us fans did. So, I mean, or I suppose they announced that they had announced the acquisition already by then, but still, like, I feel like they were like, I mean, maybe that's not the right way to go. But back then when they acquired ZeniMax, it was a case of we can't have we can't have our stuff competing with xCloud. So let's take it away from there. Hopefully we can get it back really soon. Like I know that I mean, obviously we just had Age of Empires. We previously had like the Grounded and Deathloop and stuff. But yeah, like Bethesda games should come back soon to GeForce Now and Booster. That would be massive. Like Skyrim. Although Skyrim without mods, not a fan anymore. But yeah, so I mean, after the agreement, the Nvidia's very happy with the agreement and being like, yeah, all our concerns about this is now over. With this deal, we're getting everything we wanted. It's great to see. The Microsoft expert says the FTC expert did not take a look at the impact on mobile markets, and in there, the Microsoft expert estimates that Microsoft currently has 0.3% of the mobile gaming market. And with the acquisition, with getting King, the biggest company in mobile gaming, one of the biggest companies in mobile gaming with Candy Crush, they would still only have 3.8% of the mobile gaming market, which is surprisingly little. I mean, or not, maybe not that surprising to be honest. But like Minecraft on mobile is massive, and that's Microsoft. But even with that, it's only 0.3% of the mobile market. That's pretty crazy. So. Like, yeah, and I think this also like cements like this is what like they because they've talked several times about mobile within all the documents, and I feel like if everything I've seen from Microsoft, all the testimonies and all the experts, like the Microsoft experts, everything about this trial just cemented the fact that Microsoft wants to get into mobile. They want to get out of hardware. they want to like Game Pass is their focus. That's where they're gonna make their money, making a massive amounts of content, having a massive subscription that every game picks up, and selling games to the people who don't pick it up on every platform. Having their own platform is soon going to become a liability for them soon. So I think they're trying to get out of the hardware business, and just like this is a big part of that. So yeah, this kind of further proves it to me. Jim Ryan has said in his testimony that he believes that between 2025 and 2035, cloud gaming will become a meaningful component, but neither he or anyone in the world can predict exactly when. I would say it already is, but that's just me. Yes, it's very small and very it's not very big right now, but it's still a meaningful component, and it's just going to grow from here. So I agree with him, but I also think he's way too pessimistic. And this was I don't know if I hope you all see this already, but if not, so one of the Sony confidential documents, they had redacted all the stuff with Sharpie. Very briefly there in the back, in the backstage, the disappeared again. So I mean, obviously, when you present documents, you show them to the lawyers and judges, ask like properly, and then you go in and redact like this is not going to be shown to the public, please. And apparently, someone from Sony did that with a black Sharpie. And the thing is, when you scan a document with black Sharpie on it, you can still actually see the text below it if you just run a version from it, making it very easy to see. So some of these things that we've learned from this, I mean, you can see it in this image here. Like this is how it looks, meaning that all of these things you can like just increase the brightness and contrast, and you can actually read what it is saying. So in 2021, hey, there we go. Let's see if it works. There we go. Hey, Rokk. Hey, out and about.
How are you, my friend?
I'm well.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear. Surprisingly well, considering you're out in the restaurant.
I'm in the bar of the hotel, so I can't promise that you can hear me or that it's going to happen for very long.
No, I just wanted to surprisingly good audio quality, I gotta say, for a hotel.
Oh, really?
Hotel bar, yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, if I kind of spin around, you can see it's.
Oh, nice. Looks
very much the bar.
Oh,
I don't drink, so it's completely wasted on me.
Yeah, I suppose it would be. I mean, I suppose that don't they have any like nice mocktails or something?
Yeah, you could do that, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of fluids. I'm very hydrated.
All right.
Rehydrated.
Yeah, I realized I'm just gonna give up on not trying to get sick, because my daughter's been coughing me in the face like 10 times an hour the whole day. So I'm gonna get sick, and I can feel my throat a little bit already now. So it's bound to happen. It's like whatever, it's gonna happen.
You're doing an amazing job with the show, my friend. I've been enjoying as much as I can.
Yeah, cheers, man. As you said in a DM, like it's too good a show notes to not do. Like,
yeah, I know you. I knew you had some great show notes, and it was a real shame. And obviously, you needed to check your daughter and make sure she was okay.
Yeah, of course. But like, it was like, that was such a good show. Like, such a good show plan. So much fun news, and I mean, I'm actually going almost 1.5 hours before we even got into the FTC stuff. So that just goes to show how much news. I mean, we could have easily talked for 3 hours about just the FTC stuff. So, especially with the panel.
No, it's all good. I'm just grabbing some coffee and stuff for the room here. Just shove it in my plan.
But how much have you followed the FTC stuff this week?
Followed the what stuff, sorry?
The FTC lawsuit.
No, not really at all. I haven't really, to be honest. Having been told I don't know what I'm talking about a while back, I haven't really bothered.
I mean, I suppose I don't. I mean, to be honest, unless you're a lawyer, you don't know what you're talking about with this thing. But what's been fun has been like there's been so much juicy stuff, like not connected to the like this thing, for example, like with them failing to redact this, which was obviously a slip up. We've learned how much time people spend in Call of Duty on PlayStation. We've learned. Oh no, we lost Rokk. Maybe he will get it. We're getting back soon. Or like we've learned how much money they spent making. I think it's a bit further on. Yeah, like how much money did they spend making the Last of Us 2? Like how much did that cost to make? That's not in. Like that's not something that they would show ever tell us, but that's in this document, loud, like straight up, as well as like profit margins. Obviously, we know like, and here's this profit margin one is interesting though. I'm gonna take Rokk's box off screen as it's not working right now. So we'll get him back soon. But like this is interesting to me because I mean we obviously know Steam takes what is it, 30%. But if you look at this, first part in this one is fussy, but we can comment and translate it. But the typical margin looks like it might be 10% on for Call of Duty. However, that's like third-party publishers. I'm guessing the 10% is for the ones that bully them, like essentially called the ones that can say, unless we get like 10% better than the competition, we're not putting our games on your platform. So yeah, and like 14% of all games sold on PlayStation are first-party games. Could be something else, but it looks like 1 in 4, apparently, like in this image here. So all of these stuff, these things, or like how much they spent, in just the US during 2021, Call of Duty was worth $800 million for PlayStation, and they think it's 1.5 billion globally, and that's just one game alone. If you count more stuff, it becomes even more. But yeah, so like they did a massive slip up, showing us stuff they didn't intend to show us, and that's what I've been liking about. Like, I'm not really interested in following how it ends up because that's just. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not enough. I don't have the knowledge to go. I think this will be blocked to go through. I can say that I hope it goes through for the basic, simple fact that I, as a consumer, would have a lot of gain from it short term. No idea how about long term, and I think the company needs it. Like Activision Blizzard needs new management, and I don't think that will happen outside of a purchase. And I don't think anyone else can buy them other than Microsoft, possibly Google. But they're not gonna do it. Same with Amazon. So yeah, here it is. Forbidden West apparently cost $212 million to make over 5 years with 300 employees. The Last was Part 2 costing $220 million with around 200 employees. So yeah, it's been great to find these things. Another thing, because Microsoft did a similar thing, they've just straight up uploaded the wrong one. They've uploaded the unredacted version very quickly, and then oh crap, took it down. But by then it was already too late and out there in the world. And within that document, we, for example, find the list of studios that the Microsoft is interested in buying. I don't know if it's like they're probably not going to buy them anytime soon, but these are studios that they are interested in buying. Either if the Activision Blizzard thing doesn't go through, or maybe like in 2025 or something. And we can see the size of the studios here. It goes from like 150 people to, with the studio behind the Callisto Protocol, to Hollow Knight studio being 5 people. But we are looking at, the studio behind Ashen, the studio behind Project Torch, Godfall Studio, Kina Bridge of Spirit Studio they're looking at, but maybe they're interested in buying. Studio behind Rust, Fat Shark making Vermintide and Darktide, they're in the Stockholm studio, they're interested in buying. The Danish studio in Copenhagen, Ghost Ship Games making Deep Rock Galactic. Hazelight Studios making A Way Out, It Takes Two. That would be a great get for them. Heart Machine making Hyper Light Drifter, the studio behind No Man's Sky, they're interested in buying. Ori, Atomic Heart, Spellbreak. So all of these studios they're interested in buying. You can see also here why they want to buy them. For most of these, it's like people and ideas. These guys have these guys have really talented developers that we think could be a great fit in our portfolio. But for some of them, it's also like new audiences. They think a studio like Haze Studios could make a game that will appeal to new audiences that Xbox currently don't. Otherwise, it's like, oh, Vermintide and Darktide, they have a steady flow of games and money, bringing money that would be great, like economically. And like, whenever they release a DLC, obviously they could put that in Game Pass or making people more interested in signing up for Game Pass. The studio behind Rust would be interesting to get for the live ops, having someone, the live operations of, same reason why Sony bought Bungie. The Moon Studio behind the Orient and the Forsaken Forest. The tech and infrastructure is apparently something they're interested in. Spellbreak's free-to-play model is something that interests them. And there was also like pages on like mobile studios they were interested in buying. There was a lot more than just this one, but I couldn't find the rest right now. I just saw someone talking about it in a video. Like the fact that this is now been public, I love that. Moving on then, and another fun set of news we got from the trials. Microsoft CEO was quoted on testimony. They asked him basically like, so they asked him about how exclusivities work, and he said, explain that a little bit, and then they asked him, so in this world where they are like. He's always saying like in this world we live in, there are console exclusives and money being changing hands for like timed exclusives or like feature imparities just to incentivize someone to go to different platforms. And they were like, is that a world you would like to live in? And he responded that I would love to get rid of the entire sort of exclusives on console. So if it's like the CEO of Microsoft doesn't want to do exclusives anymore, and he was also talking about how they want to like cloud. That he wants to do a lot of things with cloud for Microsoft in general. So, like this quote is probably more substantial than you might think, because to me this is him saying, like, we don't want to do exclusives on various consoles because we don't want to do consoles. Like, we want to have our stuff on Game Pass and have our stuff everywhere, so that no matter where you play, you can buy and play our games, and we could get money from that, because it makes the most economical sense for them. We're no longer like Microsoft is no longer in a position where having a console makes economic sense to them. And I think this quote, that the CEO of Microsoft wants to get rid of exclusives, should tell you quite a bit. I mean, sure, he has also been on record saying that, Phil Spencer and the Xbox team, they do their own thing. He doesn't interfere with what they're doing and let them run their own ship. But still. And yeah, so Microsoft lawyers just uploaded a public redacted version of their chief financial officer Amy Hood's direct testimony. And some key takeaways from that was apparently that they want the Xbox unit to become as profitable as the other business units within Microsoft, which, without the declaration of saying so explicitly, means that they won't allow Xbox to just focus on growing their install base through foreclosure, meaning exclusives, or similar strategies. The Activision deal must make money from the first year on. I'm not really sure what that means. Like, does it mean I suppose they want to buy Activision, and like within a year, they want Activision to make more money than they spend. Not that they spend with the purchase, but like they want to see them paying off that purchase over time, starting with the first year. And the way for the Activision deal to be profitable investment for Microsoft is to bring more games to more gamers. More gamers. They want to reach more people with their games, not less. And she says they never even disclosed or discussed making any of these Activision games exclusive when she was involved. Purple! Hi! Oh man, I haven't finished watching the podcast you were on the other day. I haven't had time to watch much more than just a little bit of it so far, but it's on my watching right now list. How you doing, Purple? Let's see. The 3 billion breakup fee is apparently in line with other deals in the industry relative to the deal volume. I don't really know enough about that stuff. But yeah, so they just keep iterating the things that makes me think that they don't want to do consoles anymore. Doing show. The thing is, I was going to do the show yesterday, as you know, and then I had to cancel it due to my daughter getting hurt, and we had to go to the ER. All fine now, but now has a cold. But yeah, me and Rokk was talking about it, and I was like, these show notes are too good to not do a show. So here we are. We're doing a show anyway, without guests, because all my guests was obviously busy. 'Cause it's a Friday night. I mean, they have lives. So they were all busy, and I respect that. So, but I was like, I got to do a show anyway. So as soon as the kids were asleep, I was like, I guess I'm setting up. So yeah. And you're catching me just at the end of it, because I think I don't have much more. Oh, right, we have the Gollum news. The Daedalic Studios, Daedalic Entertainment, rather, the studio behind games such as Deponia or Shadow Tactics or Lord of the Rings Gollum. They've been a video game publisher and developer based in Hamburg, in Germany. But they have... no worries, man. Yeah, purple lights. It's funny, like, because I mean, when I do, usually I try to do like have the like fading colors going around it. But first of all, that was not working. It's just does this. But straight purple works. So which is awesome. But also purple is the color of Rokk Players. But yeah, so news dropped today that Daedalic Studios, they're the developer part of Daedalic Entertainment, is shutting down. They will be focusing solely on being a publisher from now on. So yeah, in June 2023, they shuttered the development division, affecting its 25 of its 90+ employees. The closure likely came as a result of the poor reception of the latest game, Lord of the Rings Gollum, which is sad to see. I mean, I think Gollum wasn't a good game. It wasn't a perfect game, but it wasn't anywhere close to as bad as people made it out to be. I think I feel like it got a lot of flack for being worse than I would say it. Like it was better than people said in the media, but it wasn't that bad of a game. It wasn't a good game, but it wasn't that bad. It didn't deserve all the shit that it got. I think having the Lord of the Rings IP to it, like being the first basically the first Lord of the Rings game coming out, being, single A, or even, because I mean 25 people, that's not even double A. It's almost indie, but not quite. In terms of scale, I mean, it was never going to be a like super big AAA title, but everyone just assumed that it's Lord of the Rings. It has to be. And you can see the same thing with like the Moria game that's coming later. It's like that's just a 4-player co-op, like mining horde battler. That's not a AAA. AAA. It's not going to be. This was also never going to be. But I think them being the first was very bad for them. Because I mean, everyone assumed it was going to be a bigger release than it was. So yeah, I mean, State of Mind, Pillars of the Earth, they've made as well. And yeah, they definitely marketed wrong. And like they shouldn't have been on those on the very big stages that they were on, because that makes like that, and then you say Lord of the Rings Gollum. Everyone's going to assume that it's a AAA Lord of the Rings release. Of course it is. Otherwise, why would it be on these big stages? It should have been on the like smaller stages. But yeah, I mean, the studio has made some pretty cool stuff. Like it's not massive games, but it's not bad games either. But yeah, they're still going to be a publisher, but they're not going to make games anymore. unfortunately. So hopefully those people who lost their jobs can find new jobs very fast. Like on the list of, I think, yeah, this is like on the list of what they're publishing, they're doing really well. Like Incluminati, I've heard really good things about. Potion Tycoon as well. Wild Woods. Last year they dropped some games like, let's see, there's not that many big interesting names there, but Shadow Taxis in 2021. It's pretty well received, if I remember correctly. Unrail as well, if I also remember being pretty well received. Yeah, I mean, the publishing business is still alive and kicking, and hopefully will be for long, for quite a while. Unfortunately, developers are now no longer with us as a development studio. Yeah, there's likely been a lot more news. Has there been any Xbox news? There wasn't any when I made the show notes last time, but sometimes they release it like a few hours before. Not really. No. Right, the monthly games for... Oh, this is interesting. This was rumored earlier, but now it's confirmed, obviously. Yeah, I the funny thing is, I don't think of me. I think of SPG who's played even more than I have. But yeah, I'm a big fan of it, of Baldur's Gate 3. And the first two as well. I've loved it. I love those, and generally a big fan of tabletop RPGs. But yeah, so PlayStation has announced that starting July 4th, if you have PlayStation Plus, any tier, you get Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War for PS4 and PS5, Alan Wake Remastered for PS4 and PS5, and Endlings Extinction is Forever. And the interesting thing is, and this is the one that I'm interested in of these. I'm not really interested in Alan Wake because it's a bit too creepy for me, and I've never really been interested in Call of Duty games in general anyway. But I mean, Bobby Kotick and Jim Ryan, I don't remember which one of them. I think it was both of them being like, we've never had a Call of Duty on PlayStation Plus. We're not gonna. And Bobby Kotick would be like, without, like, not including. Yeah, I think I agree. The ending looks solid. But like not including. This is something along the lines of not including, like, if this purchase doesn't go through, and in the past as well, we're not in, like, there's no way we're putting a Call of Duty game on any subscription service. Bobby Kotick says in front during the trial, and then they still put one out on PlayStation. I don't know how that helps anyone during the case, like either side, but it's not a good look for PlayStation. It says either they're probably or Activision, being saying like, we're not going to put it on a subscription service. Here you go. Here's one. It's not the latest one, but still. Ay. But yeah, and I think I mentioned yeah, he probably just wants some more, like, yeah. But fuck Bobby Kotick, I hate that guy. I want the deal to go through mainly because I want him out of there, and I don't see him leaving without it. Like, with the deal, he's gonna get some money. He's gonna be there for like a transition period of a year or two, and then he's out. And that's what I want. Like, I don't see him leaving otherwise. Like, I don't really care who owns Activision, because they don't have that many games that I'm really interested in. It's like, I love Crash Bandicoot as a like nostalgia thing. I think Crash Team Racing is amazing. My son loves Spyro. I think it's cool, like nostalgic and okay. But other than that, there's not a lot of Activision Blizzard games that I care about at all. So for me personally, it's like, I mean, if they're on Game Pass and I have Game Pass, then sure, I'll play them. But like, if Sony bought them, I'll be fine either way. So yeah, I agree. Kotick gotta go, and I don't see Kotick going unless this deal goes through. With this deal going through, he will eventually leave. He will be forced out after a while. So that's why I'm for it. Like, I realize that's probably stupid, but like, he needs to go, and with him all his upper management team, because fuck those guys. Yeah. Let's say games industry of this. Do we have any new news that I haven't seen yet? News. And oh right, PlayStation claimed that Game Pass is value destructive, whereas the Football Manager studio head apparently disagrees, since it's very positive for them. Interesting. I feel like he doesn't have a chip in this game, like, right? Like, he's on a third-party studio that just happened to be on Game Pass. Like, the PlayStation claim that it's value destructive, that makes sense for them because it's like in this courtroom case, it makes sense for them to say that. But for then a developer to be like, no, for us it's great. I believe him. And I think, I mean, for a lot of studios, indie to mid-sized studios, getting on Game Pass, you or any other subscription service like that, like PlayStation Plus included, you're probably or very likely being paid pretty well. Like, I've heard Mike Biffle say that, like, being very vague about it because due to NDAs and stuff, and being like, in general, small to mid-sized studios are paid the cost of making the game that goes on the Game Pass and the next game and the game that they're building right now. Like, they get a lump sum of like essentially paying all the bills for the next couple of years. And then obviously, yeah, they lose out on a couple of sales, but most of these games, people, like half the people playing on Game Pass wouldn't have bought anyway. So now they said they get eyes on the studio, and then next time they release something, if it's not on Game Pass day one, people, like, there are just going to be some cross pollination there. So, like, I get that it's great for if you're a AAA studio, like, for Ubisoft to put Assassin's Creed on there probably doesn't make a lot of sense. But for a, like, I can see why Paradox is putting a lot of games on Game Pass. I understand that. Football Manager, sure. Indie games, definitely. And yeah, so Jim Ryan apparently said that they've been conservative about and not wanting to put Roblox on there for quite a while. Yeah, small studios, I agree. Yeah, a mid-sized, I think is probably yes and no. Yeah. I mean, the threat of it being value deprecating is there, but I think for most smaller or mid-sized studios, like, the threat is there, but the reality is it's worth for them for now, at least, and probably will be for quite a while. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, new blockchain game. Ubisoft, stop it, please. But they're gonna do it anyway. Let's see here. Didn't Canada approve it, and now the regulators say it's likely to harm competition? That's interesting. Don't know if, like, what could they do that? Yeah, they also missed the window apparently. Let's see here. The Cycle Frontiers will be shutting down. There's been a lot of news in, like, yeah. And I mean, I think we saw that with, wasn't it Broken Arm, who... Okay, they never proved that they missed the window to block it. I hate legal stuff. It's so weird. Like, I'll never get my head wrapped around it. But yeah, like, I think it was the Broken Arm Games, the 100 Dames developers, who were like showing off how much money Stadia made them, and that was almost like more than half of it was coming from, or at least like a fourth. Great game, by the way, and I think on PS Plus this extra this month. So yeah, 100 Days, great game. If you haven't played it, play it. It's available everywhere. I played it mostly. I played a lot on Stadia, and then when Stadia died, I moved to mobile. But I think I also have it on PC. Developer says Valve blocks AI games on Steam. Steam owner reportedly will not distribute games with AI assets unless developers own the. Oh, yeah, this is interesting. Let's deep dive here. So apparently, unless the developer can prove that they own the model training data, if a game has AI assets in it, and Steam realizes this, they will not put it on Steam. That yeah, that makes sense. As a fan of AI, but also scared of AI, of course. But like as probably more AI positive than most people. Yeah, as a legal ownership of such AI generated is unclear. We cannot ship your game what it contains these AI generated assets. Huh. That is interesting. But yeah, it's like I mean, I get it. Like the whole AI art thing. Like, yes, it is. I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of these models are trained um, on on data that they don't own. Like they just here's data set of a couple million pictures that people have made that is not ours, that we don't have license to, and then we train it on that, and then the AI, you know, I mean, it doesn't. Image generating AIs aren't. They aren't creating it. They're mixing and matching until it gets something that it believes is what you ask for. Which is, I mean, it's a weird distinction maybe, but it is a clear. There's a difference there, and I think this whole like there is like it's not a great like there's a case to be made that AI art is plagiarism if the training data isn't specifically like the model that is using is something only things that they have the rights to use. And some of these models, and I don't know which ones don't follow that rule. But yeah, and I say that as someone who loves like the use of AI. I regularly use AI at work as a because I don't know how to code. I can do basic SQL and basic PowerShell stuff, and I can read a bit of code. And lately, I've been in a position where I need to solve a lot of issues where I need to do more advanced things that I can do myself. So what I end up doing is oftentimes I go to like get the help of like ChatGPT to like, here I have this, like I need to make a PowerShell script to do this thing, and I usually take like a fraction of the thing I need. I don't say I need this. I say I need these 3 pieces, and I get them and I stitch them together. And then I run that, and then I have some issues with it, and I go back and like this line is creating an issue. Why? And then I realize like it teaches me why, and I use that to then get the code, either fix the code myself or ask it to help me fix the code in the way that it is. So I haven't been able to try Bard because Bard is not available in Europe. I mean, I remember like Google I/O, Google is, but it's like here is we're now like, expanding Bard to 143 new countries. So it's like essentially the whole world except the EU. I mean, they're not saying it outright that it's due to GDPR and like the like privacy laws that exist in Europe. But it's very clear that it is. And the UK is no longer part of that, so the UK is allowed. They can launch it in the UK, but here in Europe, they can't. Like I don't know the details, but yeah, UK yes, EU no, we can't use Bard yet. So I'm still holding out to do that. But I am using Bing because Bing using Bing's chat has. I mean, if you set it to the more creative mode, it's a free way to access ChatGPT 4. Otherwise, you have to pay for ChatGPT 4, and I don't want to do that because I don't use it that like I don't need it that much, and I don't want to spend money on it. But if I go to Bing, I can then use the OpenAI 4, ChatGPT 4 and that is also connected to online. I don't know how. Like, I don't know the difference there. I think Bard probably stores more personal data in a way that isn't compliant with GDPR, whereas OpenAI maybe doesn't. Maybe OpenAI has like runs its off specific like data centers in Europe and don't share that data, like the model. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know why it's Bard isn't in. It's just very clear that Bard isn't in Europe. So I don't know why, but yeah. So like Bing using creative mode on ChatGPT, yeah, on there is using ChatGPT 4 for free, and I find that to be more efficient because it's also online, so you can like tell it to, so it will search the web and use the responses that it finds on the web to help write the answer to you. So whereas OpenAI, like going to their like try it out now on their website, you don't get that benefit. It doesn't do it. Like it's just the model that it's been training on, so it doesn't have the latest. It can't go out and search for you. But so one thing that I realized this week was that if I just give it give OpenAI like Bing the link, the URL, like this is the URL to the PDF that I have, based on what's in that PDF. Can you answer these questions? And it does a pretty okay job. It doesn't do a great job, but it does an okay job. So I was using that to play around a bit with like, oh, can you create a character in this pen and paper RPG that I want to use? You know, so that was quite fun and cool. I figured. Sega is not open to acquisitions, they say, but Microsoft, in the list we saw earlier, Sega weren't in it, but Sega was one of the ones that Microsoft has been looking at. Oh, maybe we could buy Sega. I don't know if that's instead of, like, if the deal doesn't go through, or if it's a also, or if it's a, we were thinking of that, but nah. Anything else in here? UK court blocks request to delay the trial. So they say, oh, no, you can't delay it further. July 28th is good enough. Go. Pokemon Go making Niantic will reduce its workforce by 230 staff. How on? They have 230 people working on Pokemon Go. That doesn't make sense, because Pokemon Go definitely, like, the amount of like the quality of content and the amount of content they put out, that they can't have that many people working. It can be more like 10 people. I mean, even if it's all of Niantic, like, the amount of people working on Pokemon Go has to be like 5. 900. Holy Huh. I mean, they're not doing well lately. They've cancelled shut down a lot of things. But yeah, Pokemon Go brings in a lot of money, but also obviously that is also losing money over time. Like making less and less money, but like they're just making bad decisions with Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is not like, they introduced a Master Ball a couple of weeks ago to Pokemon Go, and it was the most underwhelming thing I was like. It was so underwhelming. Everything about Pokemon, every time that something new comes to Pokemon Go is always underwhelming. Oh, some new quests. Oh, it's just the same quest that we always get, but like with different lore text. Someone probably wrote in like 10 minutes because it's not that great. Like nothing in Pokemon Go is showing effort. Like it's the most low effort. Like just keep it alive so that people want to spend more money on it. Like they don't put any effort in at all anymore. They haven't for years, and that's a shame, because like the core, or it's one of those, like, the core gameplay is kind of bad, but it becomes fun thanks to, you know, being Pokemon and being like the way it works. But like everything they do is just so half-assed. But then again, that's like the same could be said for all of the Pokemon Company, to be fair. All of their games is just half-assed. I don't know. Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with Pokemon in general, and especially Pokemon Go, as you can see. Anything else fun? There's been a lot of, like, usually I go through this like, oh, it's like 5-6 stories per day. It's been like, how many stories? It's so many stories just since yesterday. Like, I would have missed so much. Even if I had run the show yesterday, all of these things that I've been looking at here would not have been in the show yesterday. Final Fantasy 16 has sold 3 million units, even though it's a timed exclusive on PlayStation 5 only PlayStation 5. Among Us is getting an animated TV series. My kid is gonna watch that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to see if it's something that I can allow them to watch. Titmouse is working on the adaptation. Ooh, Titmouse is great. Titmouse makes The Legend of Vox Machina, and if you guys haven't seen The Legend of Vox Machina, you should really watch The Legend of Vox Machina. It's so good. And the animation style quality is insane, and the writing of Vox Machina is just mwah! Watch it. Yeah, we had the costs. We've already covered that. Now we're getting into stuff that we actually covered, I think. You know, Nintendo wants consumers to smooth the transition to the next generation console from Nintendo. Cool, good. Honestly, if I couldn't have, if all the games we had on the Switch wouldn't work on a future Switch 2, I wouldn't have gotten one. So that's good. Australia is going to look at battling online gambling with loot boxes. Good. The more who does that, the better. Football Manager 24 is the end of an era as Football Manager 25 switches to Unity. Okay, and finally they will be adding women's football. That should have been done years ago. Come on. FIFA also just did it, and it's like, AI will never replace top talent. Yeah, probably right. Or never is probably a bad word to use there, but well, unlikely to replace top talent. That would be better. Unity has always some AI tools. Interesting. And I think, I think I'm up to, now I'm up to speed to where I did catch up on too. When making the show notes. So this would be the last story of tonight. Unity unveils AI tools Unity Muse and Unity Sentis. What does that mean? Muse is described as a platform that will accelerate the creation of the real-time 3D applications such as video games. From said it aims for the program to enable users to create anything in the Unreal Editor. Okay, that was Unity Editor. That was very vague. Sentis currently closed beta will allow programmers to embed any AI model into any device that runs Unity. Okay, that's interesting. Additionally, Unity has said that Muse chats, an AI-based search tool feature for Muse, is in closed beta. With it, programmers will be able to look up documentation and training resources during development. That's really useful. It is integrated, like, hey, this thing that we're building. What was the API we built last year for this? Like, how does this work again? I haven't touched this for a year. Having that included in the editor, that would be useful. Do I have source for this? Nothing here. But yeah, obviously with Unreal getting all the attention in the last 3 years, thanks to that Unreal 5, it's good to see Unity still making waves. But yeah, and with that, I have managed to cover a lot of news. So yeah, you could see why. This took me 2 hours. Imagine if I had a panel of 3 people to talk about it as well. We wouldn't have gone through all of it. And yeah, I couldn't just wait until next week to do that. Because I mean, half of this stuff would be just cut in that case. And it was nice to chat gaming with all of you guys. And yeah, it's almost. In half an hour it's 1 a.m. here, so I should probably head to bed. So I have 6 kids that I gotta take care of tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for chatting. Thank you, Purple, for the amazing chatting here towards the end of this. We had a great chat. We should talk more often. We should also schedule a Hear Me Out. I've completely dropped the ball on that one. Let's talk more tomorrow about that. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. See you on Thursday. This is usually a Thursday show, but yeah. And I'm gonna try to do some streaming next week, after the kids have gone to bed, because I'm home alone. I also have my next one. Yeah, we should just gotta find a day. Maybe some late night next week for me. Would be great if that's possible. Yeah. So, and I want to stream some. I have a bunch of games I want to stream. So I don't know when. Some night next week. Keep an eye out. I'm also working on some scripts for PlayStation parental control reviews. I haven't gone far on that. Covering some coverage on FIFA and Miles Morales is in my head, and I have a finished script. Just need some footage of Fabledom. That I want to take my written review and make it into a video because that game is amazing. And I guess we'll see what else comes up. I was hoping I could stream Arc Raiders that I got an invite to the beta for, the closed alpha, but that's under NDA, so unfortunately not. With that, all that out of the way, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to keep an eye on my channel, on Rokk's channel, and anyone else's of our awesome friends, such as Purple Haze, for whatever fun things they are up to. I'll see you next week. Goodbye!